Hello, 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 beautiful people, and happy hump day, happy Wednesday. Welcome to another episode of Beautiful Living with Keisa, where we will dive deep into real life conversations about living a fulfilled, empowered life. I'm your host, Keisa, the beauty coach. I empower women to live beautifully in life, business, and style, and I'm so excited you're here with me for tonight's episode. Have you ever felt like there's never enough? Like it's never enough, whether it's time, it's never enough time. It's never enough money. It's never enough opportunities or even energy, right? It's just never enough. It's easy to fall into a scarcity mindset, especially, especially in today's world where we feel like we're constantly having to fight for more money to buy groceries because everything is high. Everything is high. Everything around us in the world just have us with this scarcity mindset, right? But what if I told you that the key to unlocking more in your life, whether in your personal, whether it's in your personal or business, I've been tongue tied all day, guys. Lies in, okay, let me just say this again, okay? But what if I told you that the key to unlocking more in your life, whether it's personal or in your business, lies in shifting from a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset? Well, tonight we'll be diving into how to make that shift and the incredible impact it can have on your life. My guest for tonight, Nikisha King, is a trailblazing CEO and business empowerment leader, redefining success for women in male dominated industries. As a thought leader and advocate for creative entrepreneurs, she is on a mission to break barriers in businesses. Okay, so as a CEO and director of operations for several companies, she has built a supportive ecosystem where creatives and business owners thrive in, in building their business. Nikisha King is here to share her insights, personal experiences, and actionable strategies that you can use to move from a mindset of lack to one of abundance. Whether you're looking to change how you approach your personal goals or grow your business, this conversation is for you. She is a thought leader and advocate for creative entrepreneurs, and she is on the mission to break barriers and nurture dreams. I am honored to bring to the stage Nikisha King, a beacon of wisdom and resilience, who will inspire you on tonight to embrace your potential and turn your dreams into reality. Hey, girl, hey.
Let me tell you, I'm just gonna hire you. You're gonna come with me everywhere to do my intro, okay?
Girl, I was having a little struggle moment in this starting off, and I said, I've been talking so much, I got a little
So
tongue
good.
twisted, but I got you, girl. I got you.
So good. Thank you so much, Keisa, for having me on your show in your community. I know what it is to protect and love your community and want to give them so much value. So to be here with you is an honor. So I appreciate you for that. And everyone who's joining us tonight, thank you for your time. Thank you for being here because that's something that I truly treasure, your time. So,
Yes, and you have so much going on for yourself, and
mm,
I was able to just share a little bit of that. Is
yes.
there anything else that you would like to add before we jump in to the
So
conversation tonight?
one and first and foremost, the one thing I love about what I do is I love business. I love
Mhm.
operations of business. And the reason I kind of focus with service providers or creative entrepreneurs is because they don't love business. They love producing the thing they're good at, right? The art,
Mhm.
whatever. If
Mhm.
you're a therapist, you love sitting down, counseling, all the good things. But what they don't love is the back end, the
Yeah.
accounting, the lead process, the sales process, right? And these are the things I am passionate about because
Yeah.
we make it seem like it's a hard task and we make it seem like it's a lot. And I get why you feel that way, but it doesn't have to be. So I get to coach my clients on that and I get to help them see a whole different possibility through an abundant mindset. So, yeah.
Ooh. honey. I know we've been talking about that back end stuff, honey. We've been
Yeah.
talking about that back end stuff. And yes, to your point, nobody like the back end. No, it's only a handful of you guys who like the back end of operations, okay?
Yes.
And we just want the stuff to go. Wendy said, hello, ladies. Hey,
Hi,
Wendy.
Wendy.
So, okay, we're about to just jump in. So sit back and relax and get ready for some powerful revelations.
Mhm.
So when I start thinking about when we came up with the topic, scarcity mindset versus abundance mindset, it brought me to my book, right? The Journey to Beautiful Living. And that's why I was like, yeah, you need to come on here because it's right in the wheelhouse of the things that I share as we talk about beautiful living. Pillar number one of beautiful living, this right here, is about mindset. And I often talk about, fixed mindset versus growth mindset, or scarcity mindset versus abundance. And I love that you're here with us tonight to walk us through, some of your experiences and how you went from that scarcity mindset to the abundant life. Okay. Because when you have abundant mindset, that translates into an abundant life.
It
And
does.
so, right. And so that's what I want my listeners, my followers to have. Hey, Monica, we have another hello, ladies. Hey, Monica. And so that's what I want to happen, right? That's what beautiful living is all about. So, can you explain first what a scarcity mindset is and how does it typically show up in both your personal life and your business life?
So, in scarcity mindset, what happened is when I was younger, there were certain things that was said to me.
Mm,
And I'm going to share a little bit of these phrases with you, and then I'm going to tell you what that defined for me what scarcity is. So,
okay.
one and foremost, if you desired something in a store on the holidays, your birthday, and someone said, money doesn't grow on trees, right?
Mhm.
I don't have it. We don't have enough. Do you think I'm made out of money? Right? All those beautiful phrases. A lot of you may know what these phrases are. And there's a lot more in different languages and different all types of languages. So for me, what that meant as I was growing up, that there was never enough.
Mm,
And when you
mhm.
have a never enough mindset, you always think you have to do something to keep what you have, right? To struggle. Hey, Tracy. And to be limited on what is available to you. So, scarcity mindset has a way of making you feel less than, not
Mhm.
enough.
Mhm.
And then from there, it shows up in everything you do. So,
Right.
my personal life, right? Let me tell you one of my biggest hiccups when I had scarcity. I can buy anyone a gift, $200, $400 easy.
Mhm.
Myself, I couldn't buy myself $14 pair of no see socks. That simple, right? Not enough. How? Why? I don't understand. Why didn't I feel like I was enough
Mhm.
spend any amount of money on me? $15 was nothing. But it just makes me feel like I don't have enough. Let me save that when it comes to me. But when it comes
Mhm.
to someone else, it's easy, right? Because that's how we are. We love giving.
Mhm.
Scarcity mindset also was in business competitive. It wasn't a community of teaching, educating, but always if you had a trick or something you found out, it was kind of a secret thing. And that's a real challenge because in my younger years of business, when I started in 2009, I remember all these Facebook communities, right? These private Facebook communities. And I remember having friends who were in them, but they didn't want to tell me about them because of scarcity. They didn't want me to know what they know because I might do better than them.
Wow. Wow.
Yes,
Wow. Okay.
that's another form of scarcity, right? When someone
Right.
thinks, if I tell you my secret, you're gonna get all the business and I'm not, right? Because
Yes.
somehow I don't know what that is. I've come to be like, I just don't know, but that is scarcity where there's not enough. It's
Mhm.
not enough to share and not enough to give. Because if I give to you, I will be left with nothing or I won't get anything. So it shows
Mm.
up differently in business because it's a competition. And in personal, it's how you take care of yourself, how you show up for you.
Wow. Wow, 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 wow. That's good right there.
Yeah.
Because I hear so many people say, even today I was talking to someone and they said, I can't spend that on me. And
Yes.
I was like, what?
Yes.
Because that ain't an issue over here with me, right? If I'm buying you something, that's 200. I'm getting me something that was 200 at the same time. I'm getting both of us something, okay? Okay. Christmas time is the worst for me because I'm about you something, I'm buying me something. About you something, buying me something. Mine may cost more than yours. That's just what it is, right? That ain't the issue over here. But I hear women especially,
Yes. Yes.
in women, that's where I hear. It's always about the kids. It's
Mhm.
always about, anybody else but them. And I
Yeah.
have to do all these things for them, but feel like they can't do it for themselves.
'Cause there's not enough. Somehow it's enough for everyone else, but
Mm-hmm.
it's not enough for them. Like, that for me, mind blowing, because I realized I was doing it and I was like, "What is this?"
Mm-hmm.
Everything felt less than. Like, I just like, why would I spend that on me? I'll deal with
Mm-hmm.
the bare minimum, right?
Mm-hmm.
I will limit my growth. I will limit my value for everyone else, although everyone else depends on me.
Right.
Hear that? Yeah.
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 That's good there. So that's your definition of scarcity mindset, right?
Yes.
And again, ladies, we have to get out of that mindset because, like you said, everybody depend on us, but
Yeah.
yet we don't feel like we're worthy. It's
Yeah.
a worthy enough for it to be okay and good enough for me. But we
Exactly.
will we will we will scrape everything up for everybody else. Got
Exactly.
it. That's so
Exactly.
good. So good. So you told us a little bit about what your experiences were from those statements as a
Mhm.
child. And I believe Diane said, hey, beautiful ladies. Yes, I'm happy to be here listening to you both.
And everyone, Diane is my amazing sister, so I'm
Yes.
happy to see that she's here with us.
Yeah, she is here with you, here with us. Hey girl, hey. And so you was talking about those phrases because I've heard it. I
Mhm.
heard people say it, I've heard it. I might have even said it when I was married in the home, and the kids was always asking for something. And I
Yeah.
don't even know that it wasn't that I couldn't do it. It was just money don't grow on trees around here because I heard it said to me, right?
It's the
So
cycle.
when we
Mhm.
hear things sometimes and we start repeating those things that we might have heard even as kids,
Right.
even if it's not the case, right? Even
Right.
if I do have it.
Right.
So even the wording can be passed down to create a scarcity mindset, even in your children. So we have to be careful, even in what we're saying
Exactly.
to the people that we love.
Exactly.
Got it.
Right? You
Yeah, all
gotta
of
break
that.
the cycle. Hence the
Yes.
reason why it's important to invest in you.
You,
Listen, if you don't invest in you, the person everyone depends on, how are you gonna help them go where they gotta go? And if you keep giving them that scarcity mindset, they take it to the next generation. Although
mm-hmm,
you want them to do better than you, then you have to invest in you so they
mm-hmm.
can be better than you.
So, okay. So when you was in this scarcity mindset um phase of life, how
Yeah.
did it affect your decisions and the outcomes? Like, yeah, this like let's just talk about it.
In every way. Okay,
Uh-huh.
so in 2009, I started my business.
Mm-hmm.
2019 was the first year I felt like I did a big investment in my value of self. So
Mm-hmm.
10 years of running in circles as a business owner, 10 years of not making any money, 10 years of feeling like a failure, right? And all of that boils down to my decisions, the way that I was making decisions. Either one, I didn't have enough, or two, if I did have it, not planning on how to use it because I didn't know. But I didn't know because I didn't take the steps to invest in my knowledge so I can try things. So
Mm-hmm.
that's how it showed up in business. And personal, limitations out the wazoo, limitations on where we could travel to. It's weird because my husband and I are from Brooklyn, born and
Mm-hmm.
raised, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we lived there pretty much 25, 30 years of our life. We
Mm-hmm.
moved to Jersey And when we moved to this environment where we are now, it was a little bit more abundant. And when I say abundant, they might made more money. They were just different ways of living, a different
Mhm.
lifestyle. And in Brooklyn, I've never traveled. Like if I did, I started to, but it'd be like one trip a year or something like that. And in our minds, we didn't have enough. When we had enough, but we always felt like we didn't have enough. Felt that scarcity feeling like we can't do but so much. And when we came here, something shifted in me. And once it shifted, things changed. I started to have hope in a new environment. It was really interesting. Hope for
Yeah.
my business, hope for things.
Mhm.
And then it was interesting because on spring break, everybody disappears. And we're like, where are they going? Because in the city, spring break, everybody was still in the hood. Everybody's still outside. Nobody's leaving. So when I'm like, everyone's going on vacation, I'm like, what? We can't, we gotta get on our game. And that decision started to create a beautiful tradition of ours as a family. So
Mhm.
scarcity mindset, every decision I made was a place from not having. And if you don't have, your decision is always going to be a no, I can't do it. So you're not developing, you're not growing, you're not experiencing life because the
Yeah.
bare minimum keeps you, how can I say, stationary? Like it keeps you in that same space. And if you
Mhm.
do that to yourself, you lose energy, you lose momentum, you lose purpose. And when you start to lose purpose, and any one of you guys who are listening to this and identify, I want you to put a heart in the comment. But you feel like you're losing purpose, like you no longer understand why you're here. And that
Mhm.
feeling is empty. That was a hard
Yes.
feeling for me when I
Yes.
was, yes, after I had my kids, all of it, I didn't have purpose. Yes, I'm a mom, but I was not a working mom. I was stay at home mom, but I felt like there wasn't anything, you know? And all of that was what scarcity was because I couldn't focus on having. I was stuck in a place of not having, isolated, doing
Mhm.
nothing. It was really a challenging time. Yeah.
Yeah. So, oh, that's all that's so good. Because again, as we pointed out, when you are in this space of scarcity, it like you said, it affects everything.
Mhm.
And it comes out even sometimes even in how you deal with people in relationships.
Yes.
Yes, right.
Oh my
And
God.
so, yes, yeah, I think it comes out more there than anything else because we are in a world where we're around people. And when you are bogged down with all those emotions of lacking and not having, so your mind has conditioned you to say, then the attitudes, the frustrations, and then you like, what is going on? Like, what is going on with this person? And it's not me. They're
Right.
dealing with all the things of what I don't, what I can't, and
Right.
it's easy to get in there, especially when you're going through a life transition or when things are happening in your life. You can you can seek into that if you're not careful with
Right.
a scarcity mindset, right? And
Right.
so I like when you said when you shifted your environment, it was like an awakening.
Sure was.
And a lot of times that's all it takes is the shift of something new, something fresh,
Yeah.
something to look forward to. People
Yes.
doing things like, wait a minute, everybody gone? No. They gone
Hello.
too, you
Yeah.
know. And so it is so important to know that it shows up in other areas of your life,
Mm.
not just you not wanting to invest in yourself. And I'm glad that you brought up investing because that was the same conversation that I had earlier today. I'm like, I don't even know what it means not to invest in myself. Okay.
Mm.
I don't even know what it feels like not to invest in myself. Not investing in me is not even an option. I'm going to figure it out. I'm
Right.
going to figure
Exactly.
it out. All this, I got to go ask, I got to go talk, I got to go do this, I got to go do that. To each his own. But you only have one life.
Mm.
Only have one life. And I be darn going for me that I'm somebody going to be able to tell me that I can't invest in me for the higher good and purpose for me to grow to get to wherever. Because if you in my life, that means it's going to impact you too in a positive way.
But they
And
don't but here's the thing, they don't know that.
I know. Oh God.
The person who's asking or the person who's giving is they don't know that. So, let me share one thing on that.
Yes.
Sometimes, right, when I'm speaking to potential clients and they have to ask their significant other, their partner, they're really not even asking. Sometimes they're sharing,
Mm-hmm.
but the way that partner responds, that again, or do you really need to do that? When you hear your partner say that to you,
Mm-hmm.
they don't even understand that that transformation is going to help you and them.
Right.
And I have a story behind that that we're gonna get into when we get into the abundance mindset, because
Yes,
that is
yes, because I'm shifting to that in a second.
yes.
And so the thing is, I've told, and I even been teaching my girls. I have all girls. It's not about asking for permission because you're grown, right? It's
Mhm.
asking for support, you
Exactly.
know. And I remember, and I use this example, and I've shared this before. And I'm gonna share it now. I remember my youngest one wanted to get her nose pierced. And she had asked, and I was like, girl, when you turn 18, ask me again. And she might have asked me at 14, and she was okay. I gave her an age. She stuck to that. And when she turned whatever that age was, I think it was 18, she was
Yeah.
like, I'm 18 now. Remember when you said, right?
Yes.
And so I was just like, oh my God. I thought she was gonna let it go. It's been some years, right? But she wasn't. So, I talked to my best friend who got nose piercing. We talked through like where I need to take her, these things. And so I said, well, have you discussed it with, did you tell your dad? She was like, oh, mom, I was like, it's okay. And you're gonna, you're gonna tell him. She was like, oh, mom, can you tell him? I said, no, you're gonna tell him. And
Right.
so it was her birthday, and we all came together for her birthday, and we was having dinner, and I brought it up, and I
Mhm.
said, hey, Kendi's wanting to get her nose pierced, or I think I might have. Oh, yeah, I brought it up and I said, Kenny want to get a nose piercing, whatever. He was like, well, so let's talk about it. Why should you get your nose? Like he was finna go down this whole
Mhm.
rapid hole of things. I said, hold up. I
Mhm.
said, she's not asking for permission. She's
Yeah.
asking for support. And
Yeah.
when I said that, it shifted the whole thing. He said, oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So where are you thinking about where you wanting to go? Like the whole
Yes.
conversation changed.
Yes.
It's in the approach.
Yeah.
But I was teaching because I had 2 out of 3 daughters at the table. But I'm teaching them like you are your person. You know what it is that you want, right? Only God and all everything else, right? And
Right.
so it's not about asking for permission versus saying, hey, because I want you to be able to trust my decision. If I'm saying this is something, trust me enough to be like, all right, babe. And if I mess up, just give me grace. And we want to live to see another day, right? If it was a
Exactly.
bad choice of decision, like, babe, okay, you know the last one, but I'm still right here with you. Like, support me, because I'm
Yeah.
gonna support you. And it's about asking for
Exactly.
support, not permission.
Mission. Exactly. Exactly.
So yes, I had to get that out because I hear that so often, about yeah. Anyway, let me get off that real quick. So we're gonna transition a little bit because we don't talk about this scarcity mindset and how it shows up in your personal life, personally, your business, relationships, and all these things. But what was your aha moment when you realized that shifting to an abundance mindset was crucial for your growth?
So there's a couple. There's 2 things that are edged into my whole memory. One is there was a moment where I got to meet someone for the first time, and we were on a Zoom call waiting for other people to come in. And she said to me, "Did you ever hear the book The Secret?" And I was like, "Yeah, I heard about it." And she's like, "What you thought?" I was like, "It was alright, but I'm a kind of a science person. I like to know the how. So you can give me information, but if I don't know how to make it happen and it doesn't make sense, then I'm not really gonna take it." And then she said, "Well, I have a book that's gonna show you the how." And I was like, "Oh, what is that?" So it's a book called A Happy Pocket Full of Money.
Mm,
And I was like, "All right," I put it in my cart. And once again, let me show you my abundance. I was doing a Noom app. A Noom app was a weight loss thing, but I was enjoying it so much that the more people I told, they would give me Amazon gift cards. So of
mm,
course I put it in the book in my cart. And then guess what came next day? My Amazon gift card. Cause I'm always sharing good value and good news with people. And right away when it came, I bought the book. So I started reading the book and it was helping me shift my mindset. So that was one that I read, and I read it more than once, not only once. But as I'm reading this book and as I'm understanding abundance, how to attract wealth, how to change your wealth consciousness, something happened. The thing
Hmm.
that happened was I got a letter in the mail. And this letter in the mail was asking me for my current address. Like they finally found me. They wanted me to update my address. And it was from my old job. So this was around 2020 or 2021. And I left my job sometime 2009 or like
Mm.
2011, 2011. So it was a long time. It's almost like 9 years.
Mm-hmm.
So when I saw the letter, I was like, why they need me? I took out my IRA, whatever, out of this corporate job. I took my retirement with me and I put it in my personal account. So I called them and I'm like, hey, you need my address. But I'm like, why? They're like, well, you have an account with $8,000 in it. And I'm like, what? $8,000 was in the world with my name on it that I didn't know it was anywhere. And
Right.
that was so on point because I was in the process of learning when you focus on having abundance, money will come to you in every form, in the mailbox, in
Mm.
anywhere. It just keeps showing up. So when $8,000 showed up on my doorstep that I didn't call for, that I didn't know existed, I
Mm.
was like, I got the message. I got you. I got you. I understand
Right.
what's happening here. So that was one for me. That was where things started to transform. Another thing that transformed, 2019, I had went to an event where someone was doing the same business as I was, a graphic designer. And at that point, I was charging like $1,000 for my invitations, and I was doing everything under the sun. I was printing the envelopes, fighting with the printer because half of the time envelopes are getting eaten up. I was sitting at my computer designing 3 concepts all night long. I was struggling. And then I went to this seminar. I invested and I went to this seminar, and this beautiful
Invested.
human being is sitting there telling me she charges $10,000 for everything. And all she does is get it in the mail and then mail it out on behalf of her clients. And my mind was like, what is happening? Like, you don't design, you may come up with a concept, you have someone do it, then they ship it, they print it, assemble it for you, ship it to you, and then you just send it out with postage while I'm charging 1,000 and I'm doing everything and can't catch myself. And that was something that ignited me. When I came from that weekend seminar, I was like, nope, something's changing. Something has to change. That was the fire that ignited in me. So there was another moment where I was trying up in my prices, talking to planners, trying, but when other people are limited and have scarcity, of course they can't partner with you because
Mm-hmm.
what you're asking for, they can't even fathom asking their clients for, right? So it was a very interesting concept, but I would keep going. I didn't stop. But one day I was sitting at my desk, the same desk, and I was just like, hmm, for 10 years, I struggled financially in my company. And somehow we moved from this 400 square feet house to this almost 2,000 square feet home in a community where the schools are 9 and 10s, where we have grass and trees, we have bedrooms, we have an office space back. And all of this on my husband's W 2, we were able to do. And I thought I was contributing, but I wasn't. All I was doing is gaining expenses in my business, not figuring out what and how to sell, and we were able to get here. So why am I playing it small? Why am I playing it safe?
Mm-hmm.
Because all the small and safeness I'm doing is getting me nowhere.
Right.
And I was like, this doesn't make, it's not mathing, it's not computing, right? Like it's not making sense.
Mm-hmm.
That was it. I was like, oh, I'm done. I was like,
Right.
I'm done. I was like, this is not gonna
The
work.
prices, the prices just went up.
Exactly. The price went up, the investment in myself went up.
Yeah.
I invested in a community, I invested in a sales like coach, I invested in one-on-one coaching, and every time they put knowledge in, I kept working at it,
Mm-hmm.
implementing it,
Mm-hmm.
experimenting,
Mm-hmm.
and I just kept going and going until January 2022 when I went from 20,000 in my business to around 70K from working with my coach one on one. And it wasn't
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't because of her.
Mhm.
When I say that, it is because of her and it wasn't because of her. So here's what I mean by that. Working with her, she gave me clarity. She
Mhm.
helped me build what I went to her for, my systems. The more I was practicing clarity and putting things in place, because we would talk about how people would come into my business and I started doing it, the comfortable I got. So when I got on a
Right.
sales call, it wasn't hard to sell because I knew the value I could produce because I was gaining that clarity with her. So
Right.
in January, people kept coming to me, right? This is now planners are reaching out, talking. I'm selling my services around 7, 8,000 for whatever I'm
Mhm.
doing.
Right.
And people are saying, yes, yes, yeah. It just yes is all
Yes,
the
yes.
time. But here's the thing. I never put it on my coach to be the responsible person for my results. I never
No,
said to
right.
my coach, because of you, if you are with me, I'm
Mhm.
putting the responsibility that I'm making money because of you. Only like, what are you doing for me? I never had that thought about her. All I had the thought about is I want to be better at something. And she gave me exactly that. Did I know it was gonna turn out the way it did? Hell no. But I was
Right.
willing to take the risk. Trust me, and the first time I had to pay her for 3 months, it was 1,800, and I was, like, sweating bullets. Keisa, I was sweating bullets. I was like, "Where am I getting this money from? I
Eight
can spend this
1,800?
1,800 for 3 months." Right? Now here's the
Okay.
best part. The second round I invested in her another 3 months, it was still 1,800, and
Really?
it was still comfortable. It was like, "Okay, I could give you this because 'cause I'm making it." The 3rd round, it was 18. I was like, "This is cheap," because I was making money because of her, like and because of her, because she spent the time doing the work with me, being by me, guiding me, and that moment was so pivotal in my life because she's the person who introduced me to coaching. That's why I became a certified coach. She's the
Mm.
person who introduced me to my value. Many other people did. But if I didn't do the work and show up and knew it was time to get off my butt and stop playing it small, I
Mhm.
would have never transformed. If I didn't have the book, A Happy Pocket Full of Money,
Somebody
I
put that
would
in the chat. Happy
yes,
pocket
pocket full
full
of
of
money.
money. The
Yes,
book.
it's a
Happy
nice
pocket full of
title.
money.
A happy pocket full of money. But if I didn't even start there, I would have not noticed all these things. I couldn't even tell you today where I would be if I didn't have these things. They built on each other. But those 2 elements, when I started the book, I got that check in the mail, and I also was able to sit here and go, "I'm playing it small. This ain't working.
Mhm.
This ain't
Thank
working."
you, Diane. So let me. Wait a minute. I just got to go back to this coach real quick.
Mhm.
Is she still charging 1,800?
No, she increased the
Girl.
prices, of course, because she knew what the value she was giving. I was a
Yeah.
testament to that.
She should have seen that. Okay. Anyway, good for
You
you.
can't
But I'm just
you
like,
can't
what?
see that when you're in scarcity. 1,800 in scarcity was like, "Oh my god, that is a lot." You
No, I'm
can't
not
see that.
saying for
Oh,
you because for you, if you're in scarcity mindset, you will think $1,800 is.
yes.
I wish I would have at least got one coach that was 1,800, just one out of the coaches. I don't bought some cars, okay? Like my baby is in college, and she should not be still saying, "Mom, you know I still need a car." I was like, "Well, you know what had happened was I invested in myself like then, and so I got to. I'm working on that. So you got to take a back seat for a second, right? That car come. I had to go do some stuff. Girl, I could have got you and your sister a car out of that one. And you could have got, I could have bought, I'm Oprah. You get a car, you get a car, and you get a car, right? So I'm like, what?
Yes.
And haven't blinked. I might have been like, what? How much? Okay. But I figured it out because I knew it was something I needed.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, I'm glad the coach was available. I'm
I
glad you realized that that happy pocket full of money
mhm.
was what you needed. Y'all need, see a coach changes lives.
They
When you
do.
get the right coach, you have to have the right coach,
Yes.
and you have to invest in yourself. Investing in yourself, just like you invest in everybody else, and don't have a scarcity mindset. So, since we're talking about shifting from the scarcity mindset to abundant, this is good. How can someone start to make the mental shift?
Mm.
from a scarcity to abundant mindset, like especially if they've been operating from a place of lack for a long, long time.
Right. Right, which is my story. Like,
Yeah.
you have to understand when I was, what, 41, the shift came. So 40 years I was practicing scarcity. So it was a long time to be conditioned. But for me, what I know now, hindsight, I had to make a decision. It
Mm-hmm.
was just a decision when I sat at my desk and saw what we did, and I was playing it small. That little thought was my trigger. Like, it wasn't making sense. It was really weird. It was like, you're doing all of this. You're doing all these hoops, the hamster wheel. You're not making anything,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
somehow you still got here. So what would happen if I step it up? Where can we go? If I did my part, where can we go? And that's exactly what I did. That is exactly what I did. So the thing you have to do is you have to make a decision. And if you
Mm-hmm.
look up the word decision, and I believe one of my authors, when I listen to them, decision is a word where it means to cut off any other option,
Right.
have one option and cut everything else off. And the reason it's a challenge is because people are in their comfort zone. So when you're in your comfort zone of lack of, because you've been making it, there's nothing wrong with it because scarcity has kept you in this safe comfort zone. And this comfort zone, you feel like this, some people, you don't even feel like it's enough because you know you want more, but somehow you can't get it. There's something
Mm-hmm.
stopping you, is that tug. But the reason it is because you're so comfortable in that zone. So you stay in it. Even when you get uncomfortable, you run right back to that comfort zone.
Right.
So you have to make a decision to get uncomfortable. You have to make a decision to do things outside of your comfort zone.
That
You have
part.
to make the decision that when something feels uncomfortable, but everything inside of you is saying, do it, you just do it. You make a decision. You become decisive. You cut off all other options. Because in my world, as of now, from an abundance mindset, there is no failure.
Mm-hmm.
There is no failure. There's a lesson. Even one of my coaches, Rod Cleef, I'm doing real estate now, so he's our coach. And he explains it. A failure is like a seminar. It's a lesson.
Right. You're
It's where
right.
you learn. It's where you grow. It's where you can become more abundant because you have to learn. There is no one that did something for the first time and was perfect because it doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know the
Mm-hmm.
information, you don't know the how. So you have to do it the first time and be open to the possibility it's not going to work the way you think it should work. And if you're a perfectionist like I used to be, and you call yourself, I'm a perfectionist, I can't do it. It's not that easy because listen, that is an excuse, a beautiful
Yes.
one. I lived up to that a long time, but all it did was stop me and it kept me playing it small, really small. And then when I gave that up, I could do really big things, which I am doing and loving. And here's
So you
Go
spoke a word when you said, yes, sis, preach, your sister says.
ahead. Mhm.
So you spoke a word when you said being trying to have this, it to be perfect.
Mm,
And I literally talked about this last week on the last live, how um, I almost didn't go start Beautiful Living with Keisa because it had been something on my heart for years. And I was like, okay, I'm really on the wrong platform because it was always told that I was supposed to do this on YouTube. I mean, I'm
mm,
on YouTube here and other ones, but it was never said you go live on Instagram and all these places. I'm just doing it. So I will be shifting, guys, strictly to YouTube come November. So
mm,
if you ain't following me, follow me over there. But I was like, well, it has to look a certain way. I want it in a studio. I want it here and there. So I'm out searching and going to content studios and, trying to find a room and all
mm.
these things.
Perfect.
And when you say it will keep you stuck, that is just an example, right, of keeping you stuck because all these times I'm sitting here looking at my living room. There are 3 areas in my living room. I can switch next week and be in the other part that I haven't even shot from, right? That
Right.
I feel like, somebody came over here, somebody I never didn't know came over, was braiding my niece's hair, and they was watching the podcast. And I said, I got to get started. I got to go look at this location again today. And she said, and I had been It had been laid on my heart. Just do it in your living room. But that
Mhm.
wasn't good enough. It wasn't perfect enough, right? And she
Yes.
said, looked around. She was like, and why are you not doing it in your living room? And I was like, oh God, you know, and so it kept me stuck because I wanted it a certain way. It didn't look the way I wanted it to look. So I wasn't getting started. So the moral of the story is it's not going to always look how it should look or how you think it should look. If it's laying on your heart, start where you are. And if that is in the basement, if that's at the kitchen table, if that's in the garage, if it's in the driveway, wherever it is, move.
Exactly. Exactly. We call it starting with a B minus. So I'm
Right,
always starting at a B minus
right.
because when I start at a B minus, everything I invest time, it starts to increase. It gets better and it works itself up to A plus.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we call it. Starting at B minus or
And
starting at
right
a B.
now, I'm at a A now because I
Mm.
decided to take the step, right? I did it. I
Exactly.
did it, right? I did it. And so and that's moving to abundance when you say, you know what? Let me stop looking at what I don't have, what is not, what it don't look like, and start operating from a space of this is where I'm at, and this is what I can do, and this is how I can get started.
And this is enough.
And this is enough. This is enough. And so I think that was a mouthful in you saying that piece because most people will not get started because of it doesn't look the way, or they don't feel like they have enough resources, or they don't feel these things. But when you make a decision,
Right.
like you said, and you remove all other measures or however you put it earlier, right?
Right.
Make the decision and just do it.
Exactly. Exactly. Do it where you are. Be
Mm-hmm.
comfortable where you are, but know
Right.
that you can make those small steps to something
Mm-hmm.
bigger, right?
Right.
And I think that's the key. That is really the key for it all because yes, it feels uncomfortable. This is the thing too. In the 10 years when I struggled, I kept trying to do it by myself.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I struggled. I kept trying to do everything based on what I was seeing, based on what my competitors were doing. I needed
Mm-hmm.
to look like that. I needed
Mm-hmm.
to do this because in my mind, I thought they were selling, but I don't know why I even had that idea, right? Like, what was my idea? I don't know their back end. I don't know what they're doing, but somehow
Mm-hmm.
I thought they were better than me, so I should look to them for the guidance of what it was, but it wasn't making sense. I couldn't figure it out. It's when I
Right.
changed and I got into those communities and I started to hire a coach that I was okay doing it the way I knew how to do it.
Right.
That
Right.
was where my growth started to come into play. That is when I realized something's off. Like the facade I'm seeing is not real. And I was like, wait a minute. So that means I can do it the way I want to do it. I can do it my way.
Right.
And
Right.
that became part of my abundance journey as well. I didn't need to look outside of myself. I was enough. And I invested in people to educate me and guide me. To this
Mm-hmm.
day, I'm going to be honest with you. Another transformation that came from my abundance, my husband, he had lost his job last year, 2023 in October. He worked for the company 15 plus years. Okay. And I remember when he got the message, when that call came through and he was speaking, and then I saw him. And with an abundance, let me tell you the difference. With a scarcity mindset, the first thought you go is, oh my God, what are we going to do? How are we going to make it? Right? It's a really interesting question because you can make it. You worked, you have value. Somehow people think they lose their value when they lose their job, but you don't lose your value. It's still with you. Everything you learn there, you can go out and get another job. So when it happened, I literally hugged him and I was like, it's gonna be all right. Cause I was like, I can't even explain to you. I was happy. It wasn't sad. I was like, finally, the death grip is off of you. We're gonna get you, we're gonna get you back. Like, oh my
Oh,
gosh. So of course he had a severance check for the year because he's been there for 15 years. So he was online and he found a program called Leap Academy. And it was a program coaching you about your value and all these things. I had did my certification in coaching. Just to let everyone know, I invested $21,000 in me. And I remember when I had to make that decision, was it easy? It wasn't really easy because I was struggling with a $3,000 investment before I made the $21,000 investment. That's how I got into that whole situation. But when I made that, it was the best because I started to change and my family dynamic started to change because once I, right, the matriarch of our family started to invest in me, they got the benefits.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So when my husband had found this program and he came to me, he was like, "Babe, I found this program that I like." And it was like what, $15,000 to do it. And it was 8 weeks or something like that. It was short. And of course, when he's telling me, I'm like this smiling ear to ear. I was like, do it. Go.
Yes.
Go. Yes.
Yes.
Like, because
Yes.
I know what happened for me.
Right.
I
Right.
want it
Right.
for you. Because if we're both on the same page, we're gonna be a powerhouse. Do you not
Yes.
understand? That's abundance.
Yes.
That's abundance. So he did it and he enjoyed it. And then they had another offering at 20K, and that was the $1 million Club. It's a year program. I was like, here's my card. I want my points for my plane. I want my points. Use my card. Right? That's what I mean by abundance. That's a decision I can make from an abundant place. Because
Mm-hmm.
if I was in scarcity, I'd be like, don't spend any money. Don't invest in yourself. We don't have it. Christmas is coming. We have
Mm-hmm.
holidays. We have the bills. But we had enough already to cover that. In
Mm-hmm.
January, he found a new job that paid more. He was able to negotiate his own like signing bonus
Mm-hmm.
because he had found value from the Leap Academy that made him get a job in less than 2 or 3 months. And every time he told someone, they was like, "How did you do it?" Because since they live in scarcity and they don't understand what's happening, it takes
Right.
longer for them to find something after they lose a job. Like so many people were losing their jobs and we kept hearing it. So we knew it wasn't only him. But his recovery was quicker because he decided to invest in himself. And from that moment, he made a decision. He said no longer will he ever be in a position where he only has a W 2 with one cash flow. So he got into real estate, multifamily real estate. He was like, I want to do that. And you know me with abundance. I was like, go do it. What coaching
Oh,
program
do
you need?
it.
Go sign
Yes.
up. Whatever
Yes.
you need, I'm here. I got you. I
Yes.
believe in you. It's good no matter what. He started to do it on his own and he was in a smaller community and he was trying to do it on his own. He was like, I need help. Like, there's so much.
Mm-hmm.
And then he found a program. And of course, this program is so good because coaching programs, all of them don't do it, but he was vetted. So they wanted me, the spouse, the partner to join the call. And he was like, why do I got to go through all this? I was like, this is good. When people do that, they want only good people in their community. I love what they're doing. They shouldn't let everyone
Right.
in. So we had the call, and all of a sudden, I'm getting hype. I'm like, these are my people. Their mindset is on point. They're action takers.
Yes.
They're all in. So guess who joined them on their real estate company? I surely did. It is my fourth company. We opened up formation. We did a whole slew of stuff, and now we're looking for multi-million investments and raising capital and helping other people who look like us have opportunity to add second cash flow to their life. Because you
It's
never want
awesome.
to be in a position where your secure job, your security is no longer secured, and you're out there feeling like, oh my God, what am I going to do next? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. So when I was working a 9 to 5, I was on a mission too at the
Yes.
same time because of the coach in me.
Yeah.
So when we would get new people on the team, when I had the opportunity to go sit with them, I would say, so what else you want to do? What
Yeah.
else? What else do you want to do
And you're
outside of this? Because I know you didn't wake up one day and say, I want to be I
no
want to
one
be an
does.
SIS. I just leave it at that, right? I know you didn't wake up to say, when I grow up, this is what I want to do.
Exactly.
So what else have your heart desired? And some people started doing some things, outside of just that. And that's all it was for. Because the thing is, I've seen them come and dismantle the whole team before. I
Mm,
just so happened to get saved. And in that moment, I was like, why y'all didn't take me too, though? Why y'all should have took? Because I was thinking the same, like, how I get saved, right? Then I would have been pushed out here a long time ago, right? Lord was like, no, because I told you to leave on. I told you to leave. Not you. Not want to make it. I'm not gonna make it easy for you, right?
yeah.
But it's something about, like you just said, it's like having other streams, like working on other things, because tomorrow they can come and say, when we got to make these cuts, you don't have a job.
Exactly.
And what have you been working on that's on the outside of that? Because a lot of people use their 9 to 5 like it's the all be all, and it's fine. And I get it. However, I've always said that when I had the opportunity to sit with people, like, what else are you working on? Like, I'm not telling you to quit your job to do this, but have you been in, what are you putting in position? If something happened tomorrow, what are you going to do? You
Right.
know, and that's really good. And thank you for sharing all those things. I felt really good because there was a time and point in my life where I was in that space where my person at the time, um, I told him to quit his job to pursue his purpose. And he thought I was just playing. And I was like, dude, like, can you write the resignation? Because if you come in here one more day talking about this job that I don't want to hear about no more, you ain't gonna never be able to say I ain't never give you the opportunity to pursue what your purpose was. Quit. I
Mhm.
didn't even look at the budget or finances. We'll figure it out. Just do it. Right. So when
Mhm.
you said that, you was like smiling from ear to ear. I felt that because I was there once in my life. I was like, did you do it? Did you do it? Yes. Now go out there and do what did not figure out a budget, did not figure out anything. I was just like, it's gonna be okay. Right. Now I'm here
Yes.
on the other side of that by myself and doing entrepreneurship full time now. And it's like, okay, Keisa, you was there. And guess what?
Mhm.
It was a husband and some children. So what we doing? Like, so because I found myself in this space where I've had to check my own mindset, my
Mhm.
my
You
mindset
always do.
from like having a poverty mindset. I was like, no, we don't have poverty mindset. Or well, me what? But it's so easy. That's what I mean earlier. When you are doing all the things and things
Mhm.
are not looking like you want it to look or you thought it should look, and then you just be like, wait a minute. And then I was like, oh, you got to remind me, Lord. You got to help me. You got to do some
Yes.
things. And so it's very easy to get there, but you have to know when those moments happen,
You
what
have
to
to be
do to
aware of
come
them, and you're
right.
not. Everyone's not aware of them. They're not
I
because it's
know, and
so
and that's the disappointing and hurting part because we all have moments, right? But you have to know when that moment try to creep in, who you can call your support system, who you
yeah.
can lean on, who to say, hey, I'm having a moment, and they pour into you like for 5 seconds, you like, I'm good now, and I can live to go and push some more, right? Especially when you're in a new space, in
Yes.
territories that you've never
Been
been in
in.
before, and you're by yourself doing it, right? And
Yes.
so it's a real thing. It's a real thing.
Your subconscious is a real
Yes,
thing.
absolutely.
People think they're conscious to their subconscious, and I go, "No, because I can see your behavior. Your behavior is repetitive, but you just don't see it."
Mhm.
It's one of the most I have it sometimes. And when I have it, I'm grateful I have some tool to check myself. So I coach
Mhm.
myself every morning. So don't get it twisted where you think my abundance never tries to go back to what it knows.
Right.
And I still got to
Okay.
be like, "Wait a minute, you're doing something." So I need to
Right.
be uncomfortable. Go spend some money. Go invest in yourself. And I'm like, "All right, I got it." You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because like you said, you invest. I, I, girl, last year took the cake, and I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna have to write out all I've learned this year, okay?
Yes.
Because
You
when
take
you get
it.
to a point where you invest, and you be like, did I just
Yes.
invest that
But
much?
you gain that information and now you experiment for the whole year. You build
Yes.
around it, you put it in play. Now it's gonna bring a return. The
Yes.
only way you get the return is by doing the action. So no one's saying go out there and learn several million things and don't take action. If
Right.
you're not an action taker, then get a coach who's gonna help you take action. Like, you need that. If you're not willing to take action and you think just because you're spending money on a coach and that's supposed to turn into a result, it's
It's
not. You
not.
have to show up. You have to do the work. If you think that coach is responsible for the result of what you're getting, then you're going about it incorrectly. I'm going to let you
Right.
know that for a fact. When you find someone who sees you, who knows where you are in your life and can come where you are and easily lift you out of that. That's what you're looking for in a coach.
Do the
That's
work.
you
You have
have
to
to do it
do
like
the work.
Tracy.
You have to do the work.
Yes.
Even if you have a coach, you can't, because it's not the coach can't do the work for you. They can bring
No.
clarity, they can hold you accountable, all
Yeah.
those beautiful things, but it's something about having the coach. You do well, you should, because not everybody go in there and do the work. Because I just had somebody who spent a whole lot of money, not on
They
me,
didn't
but
do
on a
the
coach,
Mhm.
and
And
then
they'll
nothing.
complain, and they'll
Right,
complain about that person, but it's not the person. But once again, that complaining about the person is your subconscious defense system.
right.
That's where it's coming from. These are habits that they have, and they're not able to see it. But being a coach for me, because I'm a mindset coach, but I'm also an implementer. So as a business guru, we help our clients build systems. But the
Mm-hmm,
way we work about that, when they are doing stuff and they get all caught up in themselves, we go, hold up. We work on that, but we help them build certain systems in their business, their lead process, their production process. But we literally go in and build it for them on a CRM that we use.
mm-hmm,
So we do both, but we also love it because there's a client we have now that she's phenomenal, but she's been growing with the coaching, and that's what I'm
mm-hmm,
seeing. She knows how she wants it to work. We
mm-hmm,
That's the only thing we ask. How do you want it to work? You just
mm-hmm.
gotta verbally say it, and we snap our fingers and we'll make it happen. We'll automate, we'll make
Mm-hmm.
it personal. We
Right,
can do that. But and
right.
you don't know how you want it to work. I don't know how you think I'm gonna help you, because if you don't know, how am I gonna know? You know, I can give you my system. I could build it for you, but then it's not yours. Then you're going to say to me, I don't know how to use it, so I'm not using it. Once again, it is yours. How do you want it to work? How do you want it to look? What is it that you want? And then find someone willing to help you on that journey.
So I'm gonna take a reset real quick for the people who are joining here on Instagram and the people who are joining us on Facebook and YouTube. We are talking about shifting your mindset in life and business from scarcity to a abundant mindset. So
Mhm.
we've shared a lot of tools. If you're just joining us, we've been on this roller coaster for almost an hour now, and so Nikisha has dropped a lot of great gems here and taking us from her scarcity mindset journey, or just scarcity just in life, right? And how it when you have this scarcity mindset, how it plays a part not only in life and business but in relationships as well. We
Mhm.
show it shows up in that. And now we've shifted and transitioned to having and building and how to get to the abundant mindset, right? She shared with us a book called
I
A
had to stop.
Happy Pocket Full of Money.
Mhm.
And so I'm going to put that back. No, I'm not going to put that back up. You just got to, yeah, a happy, a happy pocket full of money, right? And that was something that she used to shift herself. And so as we are wrapping up here, I still have some more things because this has
Mhm.
been good, right? And so on a daily basis, like it's a train. You have to constantly train yourself, right? Because there are moments, we just talked about those moments where your subconscious will try to creep back in and
Yeah.
tell you something other than what you know, right? um what are some practical tips or daily habits that you can recommend for cultivating an abundance mindset, both in your personal life and business?
So personal life, I have a routine. First and
Okay.
foremost, I have an app called Mind Valley. Vision is the person who created it. Thank God for him. Mind
Okay.
Valley, for anyone, it is 3 figures, so you can afford it. Promise you. It's less than an iPhone. You can afford it, I promise you. And what I did is I started there, and there are some really great programs that help you either learn how to meditate, learn
Mm.
how to become extraordinary, learn how to get you. So every morning I wake up, I pop my headsets in, I sit in my living room in my little like cover, sitting up, close my eyes while he's speaking, and I absorb everything he's saying to me. And when I absorb it, I can, because before that, I had to take meditation to quiet my mind. I had to learn how to quiet my mind and close my eyes, go into an alpha state and not fall asleep. So I had to
Mm.
practice that, and I can do that easily. I can get so relaxed where I do go in an alpha state, but I'm still conscious. I'm still able to take in, I can listen, I can hear easily. So I started in the summer. 5:30, I would wake up for 30 minutes and I would sit and I would go through my meditation. So that is helping my subconscious gain really valuable information that now my output, my dreams are even more vivid to me. Like there are
Mm,
moments I'm dreaming and my dreams are about business, and that wakes me up right away because it's just it's like information. It's giving me answers to questions I ask. So there's exercises, there's a De Silva. There's so many great programs in Mind Valley. So that's one personally. Business, let me tell you, I'm going to be honest. In business, the people who keep me sharp, my clients.
yeah.
People are freaking phenomenal.
Yeah.
And when I met them, they were struggling. They were challenged with how to grow their business. They were challenged on how to get revenue through the door. They were challenged so many things. Some of them have a good amount of revenue. They have so many leads, but now they have to produce and they can't produce and manage new leads because they don't have a system in place.
Hmm.
But what they do is they teach me, one, what their hiccups are, what there is, and I can coach them on that. It helps me become aware of my hiccups, if any is there. And sometimes I do get hiccups because I'm like questioning things about me. Am I giving value? Am I doing? But what happens is I am, because I see them transform. I work with my clients
Hmm.
on 6 months, 12-month programs. So we're working for a good amount of period, but I get to see them have really big shifts to the point where it's so addicting, because one of them is like, I'm never letting you go. Like she literally, she literally is like, I'm not, she already paid for her 12 months. She was like, you're not going anywhere. And I'm like, but I'm excited because I get to see her grow. So they keep me in that realm. They keep me understanding the abundance, the value I give. Because if they're getting this,
Hmm.
here's the thing about abundance. If this is what they're getting, I don't have the privilege of sitting on information and value. When I'm trying to be perfect, that's me holding back value for other people like you and many other entrepreneurs who can
Hmm.
be getting this value from me. They can get it on my podcast. So if I'm holding up on my podcast and I'm making a big thing out of it, I'm not sharing. If I'm not sharing, I'm not helping someone shift their mindset, right?
Right.
If I'm not working on my workshops, my monthly workshops, and I'm not putting it out there, I'm stopping the value. I'm stopping the progress of someone else. And
Hmm.
it comes
Hmm.
in a way where that's me being selfish.
Right.
That is me being selfish.
Hmm.
So these are the things in business that that's what I push through. So when I'm all over the place, I'm like, up, you don't got time for this. Get your coaching out, get your model, put your circumstance, see what's going on here, and
Hmm.
see if you can clean it up. And I do have a coach. So if I need to, I go to them and be like, all right, I invest in me. I do.
Right.
I do.
You have to invest in yourself, you know.
Even
If
right
you ain't heard nothing else, y'all don't heard us say
now,
invest in yourself
self. Yes.
15 million times. And I've said
Yes.
it 15 more million times before today.
Yes.
You know, I believe in it. I believe in it. You know, I just do. My kids, the baby's girl won't wait on that car because I invested in myself, right?
And
Like it
your
wasn't
kids
I was
sound
gonna need a
older
car.
though.
Huh?
They sound old enough to go get their car if they
Let me
need
tell you
their
something. At the end of the day, it's about making sure that I'm good. Because
Yeah,
once I'm good, they're
they're
going to
good.
be good.
Yes.
They are going to be good. It's not the other way around.
Yeah.
It's not the other way around, right? And sometimes I have to say, you can't do that right now because mommy has to do this, right? And when as soon as I get this, I'm gonna circle back. No worries. I remember, you know. And so investing in yourself is really a tool for
It is.
anybody. If you have not taken the time to invest in yourself, you won't spend the money anyway.
Y Exactly, but what are you gonna spend it on?
You won't
Someone
spend
else.
the money anyway.
Yes,
And
and they
people don't look
they're
at it that
not.
way. Like
They
you're
don't.
going to spend that money anyway.
They don't. They see it as, I don't know what they see it as, but you will spend it because I know I've spent it many times when I wasn't investing myself. I did, like, it's gonna go, and it's just, where do you wanna go? Who do you
Where do you
wanna
want
bet
it to
on?
go in this season of life?
Yes.
Be
Yeah,
more intentional about what, but the issue is it brings me to vision. You know, if you don't have a clear vision for your life and
yes.
where you want, where you're heading and where you're trying to go, you won't continue to spend it on things and things that are not, that are
Exactly.
only going to bring you temporary fulfillment. You're
Yeah.
not going to have anything to show for it or account for, and you're going to stay stagnant. I always say you'll be in the same place you were the next year, hopefully with a different pair of drawers on. But everything else about your life is going to be the same.
That is so
That's the
true.
truth.
That is so true. You need a vision, and we help our
You
clients with
have
that.
to
You have to
have
build
a
a
vision.
roadmap.
Yeah, and
There
a
needs to
roadmap.
be
And
a
I teach
roadmap.
that in my coaching things. Like
Yes.
you cannot just, I talk about vision on Facebook all the time, on Instagram, all social media platforms. I'm like, I'm not saying it just because. I want you to take a moment and say, what is the vision that I do have for my life? Even in my style and the power course, I'm like, okay, before we get into this, what is the vision that you have?
Mm,
Because you will end up with a closet full of stuff, more stuff, because you just thought because it was cute, you wanted it, and then you go in your closet, you're like, I don't have nothing to wear. I'm inviting you to somewhere, but you don't have nothing to wear. What you
exactly.
mean? Don't you got a lot of clothes in your closet? Don't you
Exactly.
have a lot of clothes, but you're not intentional about what you're shopping for because you don't have a vision for where you're heading? So if I say I have a vision that I want to be on red carpets and I want to be able to do these things, I have to go and be intentional when I'm shopping. I said that I want to be on red carpet. Do you have anything in the closet so when you get that call, I ain't got to be like, I can't go because I don't have it? No, you know how many times I've got called and they've asked me at the spur of the moment. I'm
Mm.
like, what time I need to be there? I'm there. Went straight in that closet. I'm like, I finally get to wear you, but I had it because it was the vision that I had for myself, right? And
Exactly.
so it's even when it comes down to your style, it's vision is everything. Vision is key to life.
Mm.
Key to life. You have to have a vision. You
Yeah.
have to be intentional. All of that.
So true. So true.
All of that. So we are well over an hour now.
Yes.
There were more questions, but I have to bring you back. And so, before we depart from our time on this evening, do you have any parting words that you would like to leave with the the community of beautiful living, the beautiful living community?
What I want to say is one, you are enough
Yes.
as you are today. And two, when you invest in you and you're intentional with where you want to be, it's not selfish.
Mm-hmm.
You are actually being selfless. Because when you take care of yourself, when you invest in yourself, when you help yourself grow, you're going to have an abundance where you can give to others and not be depleted at the
Mm-hmm.
end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Every day in my life, I get to show up 100%, and I can give 100%. And when I lay down, I don't feel depleted. I feel so much joy because
Mm-hmm.
I gave fully of myself. And when I gave, the way I received the gift
Mm-hmm.
back, it just filled me up so much more. So that is my one thing I want to share with you guys. And hopefully, Kisa, you'll be able to share where they can find me if they have questions. If they want to talk more, I am here for it all.
You can go ahead and share that while we're here. Okay, she just froze up on us. So I will make sure that I have her to drop that information of where you can find her um, at in the chat after we are done. So guys, because she is still frozen, so I'm gonna remove her from the stage from right now. But wow, what an incredible conversation! I want to take a moment to thank Nikisha for joining us tonight and sharing so much powerful knowledge on shifting from a scarcity to an abundant mindset. This is a journey that many of us are on, right? And if you're not at some point in life, it hits you. And she shared her personal journey on coming from scarcity to abundance, right? So whether we're trying to grow personally or in our businesses, and this tonight's discussion has, I've just lost her, so that's why I kind of paused a little bit. But tonight's discussion has been full of practical advice and inspiration. So remember, abundance isn't just about what you have; it's about how you think, how you approach opportunities, and how you show up in the world. By shifting your mindset, you can unlock a life that's full of potential growth and opportunities. And for more practical tips on how you can continue to grow and elevate your life and style, because I just talked a little bit about that, grab my book, The Journey to Beautiful Living, 7 Pillars for Living a Fulfilled Life. Also, you can go deeper on your style journey and grab my ebook, Release the Style Within You, on my website, KeisaCampbell.com. And follow me on LTK, that's Like to Know, and my Amazon storefront. The links are in my bio, and I will drop them in the comment section as well for more fashion tips. These resources are designed to help you embrace your authentic self, cultivate your unique style, and live out your purpose with excellence. Again, visit my website at KeisaCampbell.com if you are ready to live out your purpose, career, and show up in style and confidence. As always, thank you so much for tuning in to Beautiful Living with Keisa. Beautiful living isn't just a destination, it's a journey that we take every single day. It's about deciding what we want our lives to look like and taking those steps to make that life a reality. It's about just showing up in every area of our life. So every day above ground is an opportunity to make your life truly beautiful. It's not about perfection. Remember, I said it's not about being perfect, but progress. So let's take this journey together, supporting and uplifting one another along the way. Don't forget to follow, subscribe if you're on YouTube. And remember, I said next month, come November, I will only be live on YouTube. And share this episode with a friend. I'll see you next time for, I don't know why I'm getting so tongue twisted tonight. I'll see you next time for more real talk, inspiration, and empowerment right here on Beautiful Living with Keisa. Until next time, keep embracing your journey, keep living beautifully, and always remember your next chapter is waiting for you to make it amazing. Without further ado, I want to come back because I was about to, she came back and I know I was about to close out, but I want her to give you where she can find you. So I'm bringing you back on the stage. I never do this. I'm bringing you back on the stage because I lost you, but let the people know where they can find you because I was going to just tell you, put it in the comment section once we were done. So go ahead and let them
I'm
know
gonna
where to
do
find
that.
you.
It's gonna be on Instagram, NKBiz, B-I-Z, Guru, Guru.
Okay.
NK
And once
Biz
we
Guru,
come
and
off,
I'll put it in the chat.
yes, yes, do that. So I'm taking you back
Okay.
off because we are done,
Yeah.
but I'll just leave you right here because we are done. So until next time, know that beautiful living awaits you. Good night.